Welcome back to This Day in Irish History. I'm your host, Raymond Welsh. Before we dive into today's story, if you'd like to explore other significant events that happened on this day in Irish history, visit thisdayirishhistory.com. The link is in the episode description. Now, let's journey back to March 14th, 1984, when Sinn Féin leader Gerry Adams survived an assassination attempt that sent shockwaves through Northern Ireland and beyond. Gerry Adams was and remains one of the most controversial figures in Irish political history. As leader of Sinn Féin, the political wing of the Irish Republican Army, IRA, Adams was at the forefront of Irish republicanism during some of the most turbulent years of the Troubles. His prominence made him a target, and on this day in 1984, his enemies attempted to silence him permanently. The attack took place in Belfast, when Adams was travelling through the city in his car. A unit of the Ulster Defence Association, UDA, a loyalist paramilitary group, ambushed his vehicle in broad daylight. The gunman opened fire, striking Adams multiple times. The assassination attempt was swift and brutal, leaving Adams and 3 others in his car wounded. Incredibly, despite being shot in the neck, shoulder and arms, Adams survived the attack. The assassination attempt was part of a broader campaign by loyalist paramilitaries to eliminate key figures in Irish nationalism. The UDA, along with other loyalist groups like the Ulster Volunteer Force, UVF, had long targeted Republicans, seeing them as a direct threat to the union with Britain. The attack on Adams was meant to destabilise Sinn Féin and weaken the Republican movement. However, it had the opposite effect. Rather than retreat from politics, Adams emerged from the ordeal more determined than ever. Just weeks after being released from the hospital, he resumed his role as Sinn Féin president, appearing at rallies and continuing his campaign for nationalist rights. His resilience only reinforced his status among supporters, strengthening his influence within the Republican movement. The attempt on Adams' life also underscored the brutal reality of the Troubles, a conflict where political figures, civilians, and combatants alike were targeted in the cycle of violence. But despite the ongoing bloodshed, Adams would later play a pivotal role in shifting the tide from armed conflict to political negotiation. By the 1990s, Adams had become a key player in the Northern Ireland peace process. He was instrumental in persuading the IRA to declare ceasefires and engage in talks that would eventually lead to the Good Friday Agreement in 1998. That landmark accord helped bring an end to decades of violence and laid the foundation for a more peaceful and politically stable Northern Ireland. Reflecting on the 1984 attack years later, Adams acknowledged how close he had come to death that day. But rather than being a turning point toward more violence, it became part of the long and painful road toward peace. The incident remains a stark reminder of how deeply personal the conflict was and how high the stakes were for those involved. The Troubles may have officially ended, but the wounds left by that era still linger. For Adams, surviving the assassination attempt was just one chapter in a life devoted to the cause of Irish republicanism. Whether viewed as a freedom fighter or a controversial figure, his impact on Irish history is undeniable. Thank you for joining me on this journey through Ireland's past. Please like and subscribe, and until next time, I'm Raymond Welsh. Slán go fóill.